Hey there, fellow collectors. Welcome back. Just wanted to gripe with you a little bit more here. And I did something like this a couple of weeks ago because I had a couple of packages that arrived completely demolished. And I had done a video on that, and I also showed it in my unboxing. If you watch my unboxing videos, I have some of the most notoriously bad packaging jobs that you've ever heard of on many of my unboxing videos. But a lot of times, it's not the seller, it's not the person who's shipping something to you, it's the service that you're getting. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. And this is a couple of things you'll see on the next unboxing. I just want to show you these boxes really quick. Look at this. This is how this arrived. Just smashed flat. And another one. I got these yesterday, and they were crushed. And the reason that these were crushed is not necessarily because of poor packaging, although it's a poor packaging choice to use these boxes, and I'll discuss that in a second. It's because of poor service. Poor service from the post office, and it's not just the post office either. It's Federal Express, it's UPS, it's whoever that you're using. And I've watched this get progressively worse over the years. I've mentioned this before. I've been buying, selling, trading since the late 80s. I used to be a dealer in Boston in the 90s, and I worked with Great Eastern Conventions. I don't operate on that level anymore. I wish I did, actually, because it's a lot of fun. But primarily, my personal collection has always been the pinnacle. You know, a lot of the selling and trading that I did was really just to feed my own action figure habit. But I've been doing this for a long time. And, you know, back in the late 80s and in the 90s, you didn't see a lot of this. Getting a package in this condition from the post office was rare. Getting a package in that condition from UPS was rare. But over time, shipping policies have become progressively worse and more expensive. You know, in the early 90s, to ship a box like this would have cost about $2.90. Less than $3 for the average priority mailbox. And they guarantee, oh, you'll never pay more than $3. That's like the promise that cable made. Do you remember? I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember when cable television first came out in the really late 70s, early 80s, and the commercial ads said, you'll never see a commercial because you're paying for the service. How'd that work out? Well, this is how this worked out. You're paying more than $3 and you're getting boxes that are just beat to death, crushed, smashed, and of course the stuff inside was damaged. Fortunately, the items that were in here didn't receive too much injury, but they still got injured. You know what I mean? And back to the point about priority mailboxes. If you are shipping something to someone, I know that sometimes because of weight, it can be cheaper to use one of these. Never use the boxes that the post office gives you. They are made out of the flimsiest possible materials to keep the box itself as light as possible, and they're very easily damaged. Now, why do the rates keep going up and you end up with service like this? Two reasons. Reason number one, that because the post office, UPS, Federal Express, whoever, they're putting all of their emphasis on speed rather than efficiency of a safe delivery. So they just want to get it there as fast as they can. And they're calling that quality. But that's not quality. I would rather wait an extra couple of days and get my items intact than receive it looking like this. Honestly, I can wait. I can take your time if it's going to get to me in one piece, instead of giving me something that looks like that, something that's basically heartbreaking to get a box and it's like, oh my God, I really hope that this isn't ruined, which very often it is. So they've traded off speed for quality of delivery service, first of all. Another point is that most of it's mechanized now, so very few hands are actually touching this stuff. I know that from working at UPS. I worked for UPS for a couple of years. And although there's a lot of people there sorting, there's also like almost 30 miles of conveyor belts and switches and robotic arms and other things flinging these things all over the place, crushing them, trapping them, things get jammed up on conveyor belts and it keeps pushing. It tries to push it through. You ever saw that episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes down the water slide and he gets stuck, and they say, throw a few more kids down there and try to unjam the clog? That's how they do it in these facilities. If something gets jammed, they don't want to send someone up there because they don't want them near the mechanization. They don't want them near the gears, so they pile on heavier stuff to force it through, and you end up with boxes being just smashed to bits. I dare say that 60 to 70% of the boxes that I saw come down to the slide where the trucks are were damaged. I don't know about what was in them, but the boxes were beat. The boxes were beat to death from the mechanized services. The sad part about this is you're paying more and more for it all the time as a consumer, as a small business. Why is that? Because of big businesses. And this is something else I learned at UPS that a lot of people just don't seem to be aware of. UPS and Post Office, the United States Post Office, are the biggest contributors to this problem. They will deliberately undercut for large companies that have a large amount of deliveries that need to be done. Say Walmart or Target or Amazon are really good examples of this. Best Buy, they'll give them like this ridiculous discount to keep the other guy from getting the sale. So UPS will sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we'll do all your packages for X flat rate," so that they won't give any business to the post office. But the number that they offer is so low, they're not profiting from it. They're actually taking a loss in many cases with some of these large companies, which is something that you heard about a couple of years ago with Donald Trump challenging, just throwing this out there, I'm not advocating for or against Donald Trump, but just making a point here. Amazon, their deal with the United States Post Office was so sweet, the post office was losing money with every package it delivered. And he was like, what the hell is this? That's too much. That's not good business. I agree. But that's what the post office was willing to do to keep UPS from getting the contract. You see what I mean? So how are they going to make that money up? By raising postal rates every year for everybody else. That's why your stamps go up every year. That's why cost of shipping this stuff goes up every year. That's why they redesign their regions every year. I had a guy, he bought 4 cases of mystery minis from me. It's a guy who contacted me from Washington State, not Seattle. I was going to say Seattle, but that's not where he was. I guess that's what you think of when you think Washington State. But he wanted to get 4 boxes of mystery minis from me that I had, and I was like, yeah, man, well, we can do that. And the shipping was like over $60 they wanted for that package. It didn't even weigh 9 pounds. It's ridiculous. And no, it wasn't, because they were in, they wouldn't have fit in one of these, if that's what you're wondering, or even in a couple of them. And we had to figure something else out. He got his figures because I promised him he could have them. But the point is, that's outrageous. But if that was being shipped from Amazon, would they have paid that? No. But overcharging me is how the post office compensates for the deal they gave to Amazon, or UPS for that matter, because UPS does the exact same thing. So it's really quantity versus quality, and we are being overcharged for that bad service. And I'm just really kind of tired of it. I'm tired of every box arriving looking like this. And you got to sit there and pray that the stuff that you invested all that time, money, effort, and energy into isn't completely destroyed. And as a collector, that packaging means a lot. It means a lot to receive something intact. You want what you paid for. And like I said, you've seen a lot of my packaging nightmares on several videos on this channel if you've been watching for a while, unboxing videos, and I did one specifically because it was the shipper's fault. It was a vintage, if you didn't see the video, it was a vintage 12.5-inch Mego Buck Rogers figure, and he mailed it in an envelope. Not that it would have arrived any better in this, but he mailed it in an envelope after I had discussed with him, hey man, please pack it like this. Oh, sure, no problem. Envelope. Jerk. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please do give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are down below about all of that. Share the video if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of our other content. We do a lot more than gripe about poor packaging procedures. So let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.